welcome you to this very moment of having a time with you on YouTube channel. My name still remains Okonji Christopher by the grace of God. I'm always your anchor on this channel. You are welcome and I'm happy to have you at this hour. One thing I want you to do for me, please, as you join, make sure you do the needful. Just endeavor to like my live stream. Make sure you comment. Don't just comment. Make sure you subscribe. Give me a subscription. As you subscribe, you are telling me that what I'm doing here is worthwhile and that I should continue. Don't only do that. As you do that, also, press the notification button so that as I drop a video, it will definitely notify you. Anytime I drop a video, you'll be notified that I've just dropped a video, and you go and watch my clip. I drop interesting videos that captivate your minds. And my concern is humanity, seeing that humanity amounts to his desired place on planet Earth. You see, man has not, man has sinned and come short. That's what the Bible said. But with the coming of Jesus, Jesus has perfected. But yet, it's not all men that have accepted Jesus. So there are still many lying in the valley of indecision. Well, indecision, whether to accept Jesus or not. Actually, Jesus is the only way. So I send you captivating videos that will encourage you that, in spite and despite, you can still make it. It's not the will of God for any man to fail. It's not his will that any man perish. That's the word. But to come to the realization of that which Christ has done. That is the mind of God. So we stand as vessel to push that message across, to tell you that in your lowest level, the strength of God can be made manifest, if only you believe. It is the will of God to prosper you in whatever thing you lay your hands to do. Prosperity is your portion. That's the mind of God for you. So once again, you are welcome. Please join me at this hour and at this time, and we're going to have the best of time together. I promise you, value for every time you'll be investing on this live stream today. You have value for time, we have a koinonia, we have a fellowship, and you enjoy yourself. So once again, you are welcome. Today, I actually going to be looking down on the month of September. September is a month of going back to school for children. Actually, they resumed this week. Yeah. I learned there was a celebration on Friday, Monday. I wasn't too sure, but I overheard it. I don't know. So school was supposed to resume on this. Yesterday was 9th, right? Yes. School was supposed to resume on the 8th. But probably because of the break. There was a Muslim celebration, they said. So school could not open on Monday, so they opened on Tuesday. So that's to say that our children are back again to school. They are back to school again. Well, you see, it's so exciting. Throughout the section of the year that our children are going to school, it's part of the human system. Education is the bedrock of our society. Actually, that is the title of my message today. I'm going to be talking about September, going back to school in September. Actually, that would have been the title, better title. Going back to school in September. How does it look like? I want to bring it to my own day, then I bring it to this day. Because we all went to school now. We all had an opportunity to go to school in our own time. You see, what is obtainable for one generation is not what is obtainable for the next generation. It changes. Things changes for every generation. What we had in our time was not what our children are having. So you see, time and chance happen to everyone. So thank you for joining me at this hour. Please, whatever part of the earth you are connecting from, please can you give me a thumb up, like my live stream. Let me know what part of the earth you are connecting from. I'm highly elated to be here with you. Don't come and disappear. Don't just feel you are the only one connected with me. One, put 1,000. Two, 10,000. So if we are together and we are connected, we are 10,000 before the eyes of God. And when they see us, other people will join. So I'm happy you joining me at this hour. So me knowing what part of the earth you are connecting from gives me that great joy. Well, you are welcome. September of all the months of the year. I just remember September. That's why I decided to talk on it when children are going back to school. If you are a child going back to school, give you a thumb up. Hello, how are you? I'm happy to connect with you at this moment. I did a live stream the other time that says salutation is not love. Do you agree that salutation is not love? Well, the way Africans talk here is not the way people in Europe talk. Like what my wife was talking to me the other day, and I spoke a kind of English that was not correct. And she was correcting me. I said, oh, pardon me. English is not my language. I only use it. Yes, I use English. It's not my language. If it's my language, I will not have any excuse to make any mistake. But English is not my language. So I use it to express myself when it's needful. So pardon me if I make mistakes. Mistakes are bound to come. So what am I trying to say? September is here again with us, and people's words are going back to school. How are you sending back your children back to, in this part of our world, in Africa, in Nigeria, the curriculum, I've forgotten again, I don't know what is obtainable also in Europe. Our children go back to school in September. They enter into new section. New section. It's a season for them to go into new classes. So, there's that joy, there's that enthusiasm, after the last exams of about how many months? They've been on holidays for the past 2-3 months, 2-3 months or so. And there's a joy when September comes. They're about to, they're resuming school and they're looking forward to go into new classes. Well, before the September actually came, I have some little ones in me also. My daughter is just 14, and my wife and I decided to say, okay, since she's finished her GSS, and we won't leave her for these 2 months or 3 months or so, let her use that time to go and learn a trade. Let her go and learn handwork. That's what is in vogue right now. The children need to be equipped. Even the world accepts it. Even in Europe, it is done. The children, they don't only rely on them having academics. Education is not just about putting something in your brain. You understand what I mean? Education is all about also you exercising your gifting. There's something that God has put inside of you that need to be brought out. So education is in both sides. You don't only go out there to bring out what is in your brain, but you also send them out also to bring out their skills. So that's what is in vogue these days. Because if you go out there in Europe and America, what works for what can pay for you is the skill that you have acquired. So we all know it. We sent our daughter to go and learn, to go to the salon to learn how to make hair. Quite exciting for her anyway. I'll give the experience when we send her out to go. Hello, if you are joining me, please can you give me a thumb up? Let me know you are there. Let me know who is with me. Tell me what part of the earth you are connecting from. I want to socialize with you at this time. I want us to have a communion and a fellowship. So let me know what part of the earth you are connecting from. So I'm talking about my daughter right now. Well, when the holiday started, I decided to, she was so used to watching the cable. We said, no, this will not help her. It's good to also send her out to go and learn skill. 2 months is too long for her to stay at home. So we sent her to go. My wife and I were talking about it, and we told her she was kind of kicking against it because now she's getting to, it's like she just finished the junior WAEC. Oh, let me relax and watch movies and do that. We said, no. School is not just you finish school and you relax. No. There's no place for relaxing. When you allow them to relax, their brain will just go to sleep. So that's what we wise parents of these days think about. In such a country that we find ourselves in, like Nigeria, you don't leave the children to chances. So we decided, my wife and I, let's send her out to go and learn how to make hair. And we took her to a very expensive salon. But when we were conversing for this, that she would go, she was saying, no, 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 she don't want to go. She's getting used to the telly. I said, no, 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 you must go. But immediately we took her out there to a good salon. She got adjusted to it. She was highly elated and excited to be going there. So she started going. Almost a month now, she has been going, and she has been learning so much. So what I'm saying right now is that, September is around the corner, and education is not just all about bringing what is in your brain, but also bringing out, using your hands to get what you can get based on where we find ourselves in the world for now. I want to look back in our days. In our days we were not privileged to, I was not privileged as per se to say it, to have those skills at their age. We were not pushed into it. Our parents did not push it into it to go and learn trade. They didn't push us. But in our time, that's to tell you, times and seasons change. Times and seasons change. Nigeria was not like this. But I would have even said it, at that time it's still good. So it has still been good. Because I would say I felt it. It didn't do me well as I was growing up. Because I had challenges in life too while growing up. I didn't learn handwork. I was skillful in handwork. It will have helped me a long way. So I suffered it. So what I suffered, I don't want my children to suffer it. If you are with me, please like my live stream, comment, subscribe, and at the same time, please press the notification button so that each time I drop a video, you'll be the first person to see it. I just want to get to relate with you. I just want to get to chat with you. So if you are joining me in any part of the world you are joining, let me know that you are there, because I'm here for you, and together we are having a good time. So I was talking about my days. Actually, in my days, I didn't have an opportunity to go and learn skill. The only skill I had that time I could remember was, I think I learned how to barb hair. I learned how to cut hair. I learned that, but that is not enough. I didn't do it enough. You understand what I mean? So having a handwork skill is good for the children. So that was what we did. Even when my son also was skillful, he could repair the phone. I remember those days, he has now graduated. He could repair phone, he could repair laptop. I learned him also to go and get skill. That is helping him today too. He's in high school. So these are all part of making the children acquire skill. So our children these days, based on where we find ourselves, especially in Nigeria, where after sending them to school, when they come out of school, there's no job, no place for them to work. Because having a job in Nigeria right now is highly competitive. It's who you know that will get you a job. Even when you get a job, the salary cannot feed you. The salary cannot transport you. So it's really hard. So the only thing that pays right now in Nigeria is doing a thing of your own. Be self-employed. That is the only thing that pays in Nigeria right now. In Nigeria of today, is doing a thing that can afford you, to feed your family and take care of you. Because government cannot afford to pay you. They're not creating new jobs. There are no new job opportunities in the country. So every day, they throw out a lot of graduates, no job for them. They are roaming the street. You see a lot of our graduates, they are the ones doing menial jobs. Some of them are doing menial jobs because they did not learn any skill. So we are wise. We don't want to do the same mistake that our parents did yesterday. So right now we send our children to go learn skills. They must be skillful in the Nigeria that they find themselves today. Because we don't want to fall a victim. We don't want them to fall a victim of circumstances that we found ourselves yesterday. If I made a mistake yesterday, my children should not make that same mistake. My children should be a better offshoot of me. That is where our direction is now for now, and that is what we are doing. So that gets me back to what I was saying earlier. The title of my topic today is going back to school in September. How is it? Going back to school in September, how is it for our children? You know, I'm also, I've been looking back on my own days, you know, before school closes, before September. I told you we didn't have enough time to learn much skill. With the little that we have did not carry us as long as we expected. Yeah, but to God be the glory anyway. But I remember, let me use my own days, then I come to today. When September is coming like that, we are highly excited because we look forward to go to new classes. You know, we look forward to go to new classes. For those of us that pass, I know in my own days, they don't just promote you automatically like that. What do I mean? I mean, in today that I know of, even when the children don't pass, they promote them. That's what is obtainable in most schools in Nigeria. When the children don't pass to the next school, they promote them. Can you help me look at that and judge the level of education in Nigeria? And when you ask them, they say, well, they just want to make space for the next people that are coming. Did you see that? But in my own day, it's not like that. You must be able to pass your last class to the next class before you are promoted. If you don't pass that class, you are repeated. That is what's obtainable in my day. But in children of today, I learned that they don't repeat them. That blew my mind. So let me look at it in my own days. Well, what does it do to us in our own days? Does it actually add to the children? Or does it has a way of reducing? Does it have a way of boosting them to pass the class? I've seen some children that repeat 1 or 2 classes in our own days. Does it really help them? Well, I will look at it anyway. In that time, you know, much people were not actually going to school at that time. Permit me to still say that, you know, then permit me to still say that, and when they repeat them, you see some of them end up joining courts. We've seen such a situation like that. Some of those students that repeat classes, even in universities, you hear that they didn't pass one semester, they didn't pass one class, so the university have to repeat them. Some of them have repeated university before. I've heard such things like that, and they become hardened. Some of them go to join courts. They are hardened. These are the ones that disturb the brilliant students in school. I'm talking about my own days in school. But in today, not that we don't have courts, but it's not as rampant like of yesterday. Court of today is not as rampant like of yesterday. You know, court of yesterday is not as rampant in our schools today the way we used to have it. You know, like yesterday. You know, so these days they don't repeat students. They just pass them. They mass produce. They mass push them. Because the economy of the country. They must push them, they push them to graduate, and there's no school for them. And I believe the great impact, this negative impact it has on the children is that the children are losing value of what education is supposed to be. It is said that education is the bedrock of our society, right? Really, true. It should be. But in education of today, our children has lost value in education. I'm telling you, the value of education in Nigeria has dropped down. It has dropped down because our children no longer, you know, see education as the bedrock of our society. They see education as a scam. Yeah, situation has made them to look at education as a scam. Why am I saying this? You look at our children of these days, small children are going into all kinds of businesses and they're making money. Let me just shock you of one recently that I heard. A boy of SS1 bought a Jeep and went and rent a. The father was asking where he got the money from. He says the business that he's doing. I'm telling you a true life story in Nigeria. The boy made money. He said made money through forestry, and went to a boy of how many years in SS1? I forgot how old is he. SS1, I think so. 15 years. Yes, 15. Went and bought a Jeep. Went and rent a house, apartment he's living in. His parents drove him. He came house and said he has made money through forestry. The father, no, I don't know, see you doing forestry. I'm not sure of your source of money, so you can't live with me. The parents did not disallowed it and said no. The boy wanted to buy a house for the parents. That's such a strict parent. He said, no, I don't know what the source of your money is. Because you know what? All sorts of things happen right now in Nigeria. Children put their hands into all sorts of things to make money because of the economy of Nigeria. See, remember, you see, success can come to you in any way. You can acquire success through any means. Yeah. Do you know you can have success without God? People do all kind of things. All people want to see is that you are succeeding. They don't care how you are making it. All they want to see is success. Everybody wants to identify with success. Success has brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers and cousins and aunts and aunties. But failure does not have a brother. That is what we see it. Failure does not have a brother. But in God, God never created anyone to be failure. In God, when you fail, does not make you a failure. It's when you fail to try. In the calendar of God, failure is a process to success. But in the calendar of the world does not want to see a process. They don't want to see failure. But many forget that for you to get success, you must go through failure. Yeah, for you to get success, you must go through failure. That is the ways of God. God is a God of time, purpose, and objectivity. You can't jump the ways of God. God has not changed. God is constant. The ways of God are the same. They are here and forever. They will never change. They are the same every day. So you can't change God. God is the same today and forever. You know. So that is what is obtainable. I'm telling you what is obtainable in my day and what is obtainable in this day. I'm telling you a story of a boy of 15 years that bought Jeep, went and rented a house, living in a big house. He was talking like a big boy. They were interviewing, I saw him. So I'm telling you about what is happening right now. You ask him, to them, education is a scam. Education is a scam. What a world are we finding ourselves? I'm using that as a case study. 15-year-old boy bought a Jeep and renting an expensive apartment that is living in. 15 years old boy, SS1. What can you say about that? To them, education does not exist. It's a scam. 15 years ago, I mean, when I was 15, I was in school. I don't know anything called a car at that age. So you see, the world is changing. Our world is changing. So I won't say because in my days as a 15-year-old boy, I don't know what a car is. I've not even gotten close to a steering. You get what I'm saying at 15? Sorry, I'm not ashamed to say it, you know. But a 15-year-old boy bought a Jeep and he living in a house that he rented by himself. When they asked him, he said he went into forestry at that young age. At that young age. He's no longer, he can't be going to school again. So what time has he had to go through the process of building up life? I mean, growing up, because life is a process. It's from a toddler, you become a boy. From a boy, you become a man. You understand what I mean? That's the way it is. But a boy of that age, acquiring wealth at that age, education is no longer something to write home about. You know, so that's why most of them fizzle out of school system. To them, school does not exist. But in our days, who are you not to go to school? You see, I'm trying to put a balance to my days and today that I find myself. But I'm still good. So you say that is a deception of the highest order. That is a deception of the highest order, especially in the time whereby we find that we are living in an age of AI. AI has taken our airspace. AI has dominated everything that we have on Earth. Everything that is going on, you can't even differentiate which one is real and which one is AI. In case you don't know what AI is, they are robots. They are robots acting to be human. The only difference between AI and us is that they don't have a human spirit. They don't have a human spirit. They don't. They only have a soul, knowledge, the soul, the realm of knowledge. That is the technology of man, trying to be like God. They can only make the flesh and not the spirit. The Spirit of God cannot be recreated. It can never be recreated. So that's the difference. So that's the age. In an age of AI that we find ourselves today, one begin to ask themselves so many questions. Things are changing drastically. Our world is changing drastically. Things are changing. I'm telling you, people are going places. Things are changing drastically. And, it's either we adapt or we die. I borrow the word of T.G. Jakes. He said, if you don't adapt to the system you find yourself, then you will die. Things are changing fast. Our world is not the world of our children. So I'm coming back to what I was trying to say. September is here. Our children are going back to school. How many of your children are going back to school right now? So you must be ready, and as a parent, you must be prepared, to send them back to school. But one of the aspects I actually want to look at again is this aspect as they are going back to school after the holidays. For those of them that are privileged, like I said, my daughter, I will send her out to go and learn skill. Some of them didn't have the opportunity to send their children. They didn't have the money to send them to learn anything skillful. But truly, they are all going back to school in September. So what is lingering in the minds of the children right now, for those of them that are going to pass their last exams, they are looking forward to be promoted to a new class. The excitement of going to a new class. That's what September is all about. The children will be inculcated into new classes. Well, like I told you earlier, in Nigeria of today, they don't repeat children in schools anymore. They don't repeat them anymore. It's only in my day that I know such a thing is obtainable. But now, children are not repeated in schools anymore. So I want to look at that aspect. How do the children look at it? Going back to school, and again, you're going to go into new classes. Apart from the new classes, as you're going to new classes, you'll be mixing up with new friends, and you're mixing up with new teachers that will come. The school will be so fresh in your mind. One thing that also comes to my mind, I'm looking at it today and I'm looking at my own days. Pardon me, I'm looking at it in both ways. Those days when we're going back to school in September, when you come back to school, after that 2 months holidays, I think nowadays is almost 3 months. Our days is 3 months, but this is 2 months. Our days is 3 months, I think. It will look as if you have not been to school for almost a year. Our days, I think, is 3 months, if I can remember very well. But these days is 2 months. It looks as if you have not been to school for almost a year. So coming back is a refresher. It's a new beginning for you. You now begin to adjust again to the new order of school. You now begin to bring your mind back again to say, adjust, that you are back to school again. So that excitement, if you make it for a new class, is there. Those are the things that keeps us going at that time. We are so excited. Please, if you are joining me at this moment, please, can you help me subscribe? One of the things that keeps us going is the fact that we made it to a new class. But in my own days, I never repeated any class anyway. I was intelligent in my days. I never repeated. I was telling you, in our own days, they repeat people that failed. And I don't think it helped us. It didn't help our people that time. It didn't help them. So please, if you are joining me at this moment, please, can you like my live stream? Help me like my live stream. Please, like the live stream. Give me a thumb up. Please endeavor to subscribe. Give me, please, one comment. And also, please subscribe. And subscribe, please press the notification button so that when my video is dropped, you will see it. Please, thank you for subscribing. Can I also know what part of the earth you are connecting from? Because I want to be your friend. The whole essence why I'm talking here is not just for me to talk and go, but it's also to get a relationship. Let's form a cohesion. Let's form a koinonia. Let's have a relationship. Let's form a community. That is the whole essence of why I'm out. So if I'm talking, you are talking, and you let me know where you are, I'm getting to know you. That's the whole essence. You are becoming my friend. 1 + 1 is 2. Even 1 + 1 in God's calendar is 10. 1 put 1,000 to 5 light, 2 is 10,000. So 2 of us can bring 10,000 people to this community. So I enjoy you to please partner with me, and let's make a beautiful section of this time that we are having. So I'm happy to have you at this time. Once again, I'm Okonjo Christopher Television, broadcasting from YouTube, and I'm happy to have you at this time and at this section. Thank you for coming in at this hour. I'm highly elated to be with you at this time. Again, I'm talking on going back to school in September. I don't know how you look at it. Do you have children that are going back to school? I have children going back to school. I'm sending them back to school. Yes, it's a time to pay bills. Yeah, it's time to pay bills. You pay bills. For those of you that are not, we are in African countries. I know in Western countries, your children don't pay school fee. Children don't pay school fees from secondary to even university level if you are a citizen. Yeah, education is free. So you see, Africa, we are suffering. But in my country, in Africa, in Nigeria, education is not free. You sweat it out, you pay. But in foreign countries, education is free. So you see, that's why I say education is the bedrock of our society. Yes, but why would the foreign countries make education free for their citizens? Because they know it's the bedrock of the society. Education is the backbone. Education is the foundation of any country. So any country want to give sound education to their young ones. That's why at the primary level, they make it free. That is how it should be. But it's a pain. In my own country, Nigeria, in Africa, we have to pay. From primary to university level, we pay highly. So you see that? But in foreign country, they know that. We here, education is not the bedrock. Why? Because the government has fizzled out. Who is to blame? The government of the day. They don't see it as a, as a bedrock, as a foundation. Bedrock means foundation of the society, because the children that we have are the foundation of our society. They are the children of tomorrow. They are the leaders of tomorrow. So when the leaders don't make it education free at that level to university, they've not considered the next generation. That is one of the things I'm hitting at. That is what we are suffering here in Nigeria. I'm telling you, in Africa, our government has not realized that when the old people are phasing out, the new people are coming. Do you see every day you see yourself aging out? You're aging out of the system, and new people are coming to replace you. The earth, it's heaven and earth shall pass away, but the word of God will remain. Which means the way the earth has been structured will keep going on. It will keep going on. We will come and pass through this level of life. Other people will come. What are we leaving for them? What foundation are we laying? The best foundation we can lay for our children is the foundation of education. So a nation that does not value education has missed it. So Nigeria has missed it in totality, because our educational level has nothing to write home about. I'm telling you, our government does not know this. And I'm telling you, so that's why we are canvassing. People like us are canvassing for education and health of our children. I'm a strong human rights activist for the child in the area of his education and health. That is my area. I believe our children should go to school. So when our children are not in school, and it's a misnomer and things are not going well, we are not happy about that. So things are not in order. These are one of the things we fight against. These are the things that we say is not okay with us. These are one of the things we come to talk about, because our government has not realized that our children need to go to school under an atmosphere that is conducive. How can children go to school when the atmosphere is not conducive? How? There's no way. Children are learning under fear. Parents are also living under fear. Where you live, you're not sure of yourself. It's just the grace of God that is keeping us wherever we are living. It's the grace of God that keeps us. You don't even know where to put your money into. But there are so many businesses that are going on in the country. If God does not show you what to do, I'm telling you, you just go and waste money. So that's why whatever we want to do, we ask God to direct us. If God does not go with us, we're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere to amount that we live in abject fear in Nigeria right now, in this country. Where is our educational level going? Where is our educational level taking us to in Nigeria? It's a bane to talk about. I'm telling you, it's a subject matter to actually talk about. I'm talking about children going back to school in September in my own country called Nigeria. I'm telling you what is obtainable. So a lot of parents right now will be looking for money to send their children to school. It's not everybody that have school fee to pay. I must tell you that. It's not everybody that has money to buy books for their school. So if the system has failed us, we'll learn how to live above the system. That's what parents are doing right now. But in all, our children will still go to school. But in all, how many of our children are going to school? That is what we should be talking about right now. How many of our children are going back to school? It's a question I will ask. How many of our children are going back to school? Let me take a detour again and go back and remind of something. One thing I remember so vividly those days is that when we're on holidays, our parents would take us to the villages. They'll tell you, go and farm. There's farming those days. Yeah. There was respect for farming. Go and farm with your parents. I know these are one of the things I experienced those days in our day that they do. But how many of our parents are farming these days in Nigeria? That's the question I wonder. You see, I'm comparing and contrasting my day with today. How many of our children in Nigeria are farming successfully with a sincere mind? What I'm trying to say is that there's so much insecurity in the country. Even when you are farming in your house, you're not sure of the security of where you are farming. There are cattle rearers everywhere. There's terrorists everywhere. There are people trying to steal your crops, people trying to steal your animal, whatever thing you are farming on. So there's no security in the country. So you see, everything seems so scattered. Everything seems so upside down, way down below what we are expecting. So, how do you live in such a country? How do you maneuver? I'm talking about we going back to school in September. How does it feel like going back? A lot of parents will not have money to pay school fee at this time. As I'm talking to you right now, they don't have. Even have to eat food. It's a problem. Talk like parents that have how many kids? Nigerians don't give back to the way they used to give back those days again. And remember those days in our own days, our parents would give back to 7, 8, and 9 children, even 10. Like my wife's parents, my wife's father, my late father-in-law that died 2 years ago or 3 years ago. He is married to 2 wives. My wife's mother was the first wife. That she had 7 children, and the second wife had 5. So that there are 12 in their family. That is the way they gave back to us those days. I'm separated in 2 ways. From my mother's side, we are 6. Yes, we are 6. And in my father's side, we are 7, and I'm the first. So you see, if you look at it this way, put it the other way, 7 plus 6 is how much? That is 13. But these days we don't give back like that again because of the economy of the country that we find ourselves. Now, people are prioritizing. Permit me to use that word. We don't give back anyhow. But you know what? The Hausa people still give back like that. I'm talking about the religion now. The Muslims. They believe. There's a belief that they believe. I'm telling you, I don't know this people. There's a belief that they believe and it's working for them. They believe that it is God that gives those children. God will give them what they will eat. And it has been working for them like that. So they still give back the way they give back. Are they still marrying their 4 wives? Those that can afford it are doing it. Those that cannot afford it, they have one. They are not vying for the 4 wives like before again. Because it's no longer in vogue again because they know economy is not helping matters. I don't think they don't give back like before again. They don't. The economy is not smiling at anybody. We're not talking about religion now when it comes to the economy because it's hitting everybody. But the disparity is there because the target is the Christians. I'm talking about my country right now. So you look at it, the economy is biting hard and is competing with education. The economy of the country is competing with the educational system. What do? Education is suffering. Education is relegated to the background. When education is supposed to be the bedrock of our society, is being relegated to the background. What do? We cry for help. So we're asking for the world to help us. Please come to our aid. Please come to our aid. Oh, world system, come to the aid of Nigeria. Nigeria should not be left like this. Nigeria is a country that must be helped out of this situation that we find ourselves. What am I trying to talk? Education is no longer the bedrock of our society. Our youth see education as a scam. I just told about a 15-year-old boy that left school in SS1, left school and was doing business. He says forestry. And he made money. He bought a Jeep, 15 years. What is he going to do with Jeep at that age, 15 years? What is he doing with Jeep? What is he doing with Jeep? He has not learned how to clean his bum very well. Buying Jeep and renting a house of his own. Leave his parents' house. 15 years. You are surprised, right? It's alarming. No, it's true. This is a real life story I'm telling you. The millionaires we have in this country today are children. They are children. They are children all over the place. So, but one thing you see, I see God also doing, or God allowing. In everything that happens, God allows. The devil might meant it for evil, but God allowed it. He will turn it around for good. If you look at our youth of today, like I said, they are the ones that are making the millions. Davido and everything. Pella, Jodolita, these are our children. They are children. They are the ones making waves in social media. But one thing I like about them, that they are helping themselves. They are stretching out to reach out to people when they have, which is good. They are building relationship for tomorrow. So one thing I come to see, that you must build your relationship. It will cost you so much to build relationship. It's very, very important. I've talked about it. You have to dearly invest in any relationship that you have. You must invest in it. It's an investment that you must make. It will cost you everything. You want that relationship to keep working, you invest in it. It will cost you everything. Nothing comes easy, So an investment is an investment. It will cost you everything you ever think about. So that is what a relationship is all about. So today I'm talking about going back to school in September. How many of our children are going out, going back to school? Well, you might not be in Nigeria, not in Africa, but I'm telling you, our children have gone back to school in September. And I'm telling you, the environment in the house will now be calm. But let me look back again in what happened before they went to school. So when the children are on holidays, this kind of long-term holidays, at times you send them out to go and visit their uncles, go and visit their grandma or so, whatever, in other places. And at times they travel. It's an opportunity for them to travel, crisscross. We did it those days, and they go out of your hand. But if you are the one to receive them, many children come, the house will be filled. Your house will not have space, especially if it's an extended family setting. When they come to your house will not have space. Excuse me. So during the holiday periods, the children are all over the place. Children are all over the place. They are everywhere, and because why they came to have holidays in their grandma's house, in their uncle's house. It's a time for them to navigate, the environment, the country, go to places. Some travel out of the country, those that have the opportunity to. So you see, that's what life is all about. So to them, it's like another level of school again, because they say traveling is part of schooling. They mix up with their different pace, and they are growing up like that. So that's the way life is, So during the September period, they are filled everywhere when they are traveling. So now, if they are going back to school, the parents and the uncle will be sending them back to their parents. So you see, now there will be space in the homes. As the children are going back to school in September, there is space in the homes. We're not in Europe, we're in Africa. We do send our children to our grandparents. We send our children to our uncles. It's not what is done in Europe, but here we do it because we live a community life. So we live a community life. We allow our children to go and feel our parents, our grandparents. Like me, when I was young, I was sent to go and meet my grandma in Warri. I stayed with her. Considering the most part of my life, I lived with her for some time. I took care of her. So my mom sent me there to go take care of her one time during holiday period. So you see, these are part of experience. So when you go, you learn. So it's part of schooling for us. You are living with different kind of people, and you are learning different kind of people. So that is also part of school. So I would say the holiday period also is a time of also learning one or two things. For those that don't go to learn one trade, they travel out. They also meet people. They socialize. That also helps to they interact, helps to build their relationship level, because anything about life is building a relationship. I can remember very well my baby girl when she was learning this. She went to the salon to learn. I can see what she started developing. We got her a phone so that we can communicate with her. We now see that she has started communicating with her friends. When you get to the age of 14, they are beginning to have friends. So you must allow them freedom to express themselves. I see her now begin to communicate. So she wants her freedom. Yes, she wants her freedom. Certainly, that's the way it's going to be. So you see, at this age, their individuality begins to show up. At a certain age in life, 11, 12, 13, 14, their individuality begins to come out. And you must not suppress their individuality. You must allow them to express their individuality. That's what makes them human. Every human being has an expression. And at a certain age, when you don't allow them to bring out that expression, you are killing the man in them or the woman in them. All you need to do is to guide them. What am I trying to say? There's a certain age a girl and a boy supposed to have friends. Oh, you allow them to. Don't say, oh, my baby girl will not have a friend, though, because she's a girl, though. I want to protect her from bad company. True. I'll agree with you. You can protect your baby girl from bad friends, but you don't stop her from having friends. Know the friends that she's going out with. Because friends she must have. You groom her to move with the right friends. You groom her to move with the right crowd. I have done a live stream on that, mixing with the right crowd. You must learn how to mix with the right crowd. When you mix with the right crowd, you produce a better society. So when you stop them from mixing up, you are killing that thing that is in them. There's a stage they have to interact. Everything about life is relationship. There's a time they need to ignite and build. Please, if you are joining me at this hour, please can you like my live stream? Make me feel I'm there, because you are there. I can see you. You can see me, but I can't see you. So can you just let me know? Give me a thumb up. Like my live stream. Please comment for me. I beg you. Comment and also give me a subscription. Thank you very much for subscribing at this time and at this hour. Your subscription will help me to know that I'm doing a job. And your watch hour also, stay connected for a good time, will make me know that actually you have been there conversing. That's why we should chat. I expect you to come up so that we can chat, please. I also want to chat. I don't want to talk over your head. Can you allow me to chat with you? If you're enjoying the topic I'm discussing. Okay. If you're enjoying the topic, please give me a like. Can you like my live stream? Tell me you like it, please. Thank you. So, I'm talking about your girl child. Allow her to relate. Allow her to have the good friends. All you do is you monitor her to have the right friends. She should have friends, but the right friends. So by the time she mixes up with the right crowd, your baby girl will grow. Because at this age, this is a time their individuality is coming out. So they are looking for expression. All you need is to guide them. That's what I do. Relate with them. Guide them. That's what I do. Just guide them. Be their friend. Try to guide them. Try to let them know this thing you are doing is wrong. This thing you are doing is right. Point it out for them. Let them see it. Then you are setting a right path for them to follow. Then making them, no. Do the same to the boys. Because no one is an entity. No one grew up as an entity. We were all one way or the other guided while growing up. So that's my advice for parents that have baby girls. Guide them the right path. So when you take the children through the right path, they will not miss it, and they will grow through it to be better people tomorrow. So I'm still talking about going back to school in September. How many of us have children going back to school to September? I do have a child going back to school in September, and she's looking forward to it with so much passion. Each time we pray in the night, she tell me, "Oh, I pray I'll pass my exam." So, because she's looking forward to go to the next class. Every child should look forward to go to the next class. Yes, the next class is really what is in their mind. That should be what is in their mind at this time. So that is what it is. So going back to school in September is a whole game plan. It's a whole ball game. Every child looks forward to it that has a dream. Because you want to progress. Each time in life, you want to progress to the next level. The next class is what will take you to that place of progress. So we encourage them to, do all that they can as they go back to school. But every parent should always have an advice for the children that are going back to school. So what will be your advice? Please, if you are with me out there, do you have any advice for our children that are going back to school in September? Please, can you come up and talk? Please, you have any advice? Our children are going back to school in Nigeria. They have gone back to school in September. What advice do you have for them as a parent or even as a child, whatever part of the earth that you are, but you are not going back to school? What advice do you have for our children that are going back to school? Please let us know that you are wishing them. Well, what are you saying to them? Please, can we know what is your mindset concerning them that are going back to school? You have one or two things to say. Can you come up and let them know? They are waiting to hear from you, our children that are going back to school. You have any advice for them? You have any encouragement for them? You have any word for them that you want them to hear? I can pass it across to them. Anything you want them to hear, I can let them hear. Just one word that you say will make a difference in their lives. So I want to hear you. Express yourself. If you are there, you are being led to say something to the children, one thing that you want them to hear as they are going back to school. I will rightly relate them. You come up and say it to them. Please, at this junction, I want to pause and say, please, if you are there with us, please can you like the live stream, encourage this work. You enjoy what you are hearing, give me a like in this live stream, please. Give me a comment, subscribe to this channel, please. Thank you for subscribing. Please, I'm begging you. I'm looking for watch hour because I've gotten subscription. I'm still looking for more. I'm over 10,000 subscribers, but my watch hour is what I'm more concerned so that I can monetize. So spend some time with me to afford me to accumulate more watch hour. So I encourage you and I beg you at this moment to join up with me so that I can build watch hour. Thank you for joining me at this hour. I'm highly elated and I'm excited. If you can give me a like in this live stream. If you can like my live stream and tell me you are enjoying what I'm saying, what I'm discussing about. I'm talking about children going back to school in September. What is your take? What is your advice to those of them that are going to school? And any part of the earth that you are, children are not in school. When are they going to school? What's happening in your own part of the world? In my own part of the world, our children are going back to school and we are preparing them. I won't say we have prepared them because this is the first week. Yesterday they resumed. So we are still preparing them. Preparing the children is not something you do in 1 week. It's a preparation that is continuous. We keep preparing them. Our parents are running around, putting one thing or the other. Preparing them body, soul, and spirit, telling them to put themselves together. So it's all part of preparation. Preparing them body, soul, and spirit. It's all part of preparation. So we are doing all that we can as parents. And God will help us in the country that we find ourselves, that things are so, rugged. Let me put it like that. It's rugged. I told you initially that education is a scam in Nigeria right now. It's a scam. But we are still sending our children to school because they still need that basic foundation. God will help us in this country. God will help us as far as education is concerned. We will not throw the destiny of our children to the dustbin. No, we will not. We will not throw it. For those of us that still value education, we still send our children to the four walls of the schools, but not for them just to pass through the four, but for the four walls to pass through them. You know what I mean? Some of them can just pass through the four walls, and the four walls didn't pass through them. They go through school also go through them. So that's all we are doing. We are doing all that we can to make sure that they are groomed and they are fit as they come out of the school. They'll be useful to us, they'll be useful to their world, and they'll be useful to themselves. That's the whole essence why we send them to school. We send our children to school in these three aspects: to be useful to themselves, useful to their society, and to be useful to their world. So you see, the world is the world of the children. They are the leaders of tomorrow. So whatever we invest in them today is what will show up. If we're having a better Nigeria tomorrow, is what we have put in the children today. So you see, that's why education should not be looked at, the way our country is looking at it. But those of us like us are canvassing seriously to see that our children are treated well. Education of our children is not taken for granted. That's what we're canvassing for. Wherever part we find ourselves, we will ever canvass for this. And we know that God will help us because what we are doing is the right thing. So we want you to join force with us in this foundation. Like the logo you are seeing there is the logo of our NGO, Save the Education and Health of the Child Foundation. I'm the CEO of that NGO. I run it, and my major focus is the education and health of the child. I've done so much outreaches. I've reached out to less privileged children. I've reached out to school. We have bought books for children. We have sent some children to school, and we are still doing. So so we need your support. As time goes on, we're mapping out things we do here. With time for you to know. So it's an NGO that we run. So to reach out to less privileged children. When we say less privileged, children are not privileged enough to be in school. We have sent some to school. We have paid their school fee. So these are one of the things we do. We buy school uniform. We pay school fees. We do such things. These are the things that we do. So we are looking for people of like mind, like you, to join force with us, so that we can give this NGO a face and a body. This is what we are doing. I'm telling you. We would like you to join interest with us. That's the whole essence why we are forming a community here. I told you, the whole essence of live streaming is getting a community. Everyone in YouTube should have a community. So my coming live is I want to get my own community. You are my community. You watching me right now, you are my community. I'm proud to say that you are my community. Without you, I won't be existing. I can't be coming live. Because what am I going to do in life when I don't have people? So the whole essence why I come on live stream is to get people. When you have something to offer, you get people to run it. So when we have a community, we'll be running this NGO together, whereby we can reach out to people. We can reach out to people in and outside the country. How can we be a blessing to our world? Each time you hear me talk, I always talk about humanity. If you follow me very well, I always talk about humanity. That's my interest. How can we help the dying world? Our world around us is dying. How can we contribute our own quota, our tangible quota, to affect our world? You understand what I mean? You can't sit down and watch something is going bad and you're not doing anything about it. If you have the means, if you don't have the means, you have to form a body that can give you the means to do it. That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm forming here, so that together we can reach out to our world through the children. That is what I am trying to carve here. So support what I'm doing with every ounce that you believe in. That I'm trying to cover the community here, a community of people that have the same mind for our children that are going back to school. So it's worthwhile, and we want to see that it work. If it's working out there in Europe, it can also work here. But I want to let you hear this good news. Well, I think in Africa right now, I was lamenting about the level of education in Africa, but I'm not just in Nigeria. Let me be specific. But I'm happy right now. Some parts of Africa are beginning to rise up. Places like the Sahel region, Burkina Faso, and other places. Educational system is free from primary to university. Africa is emerging again. I'm so happy to see that. So those leaders over there are taking their country in their hands without European intervention. They don't allow them to mess them up again. So right now, those places in Africa have taken back their country, and they have made education system free from primary to university. It's free. That is what we want to see. So I'm happy when I hear that. So that's to tell you that freedom has started coming in Africa. Education in those places is working. Africa is beginning to rise and take its place. So I'm very happy to see that in our time and in our generation. And I'm very sure and I believe more will come to stay by the special grace of God. So once again, I tell you that our children are going back to school in September. I'm so excited. I'm so overwhelmed by the level of, of our children going back to school in the month of September. How does it feel to go back to school again? That is the foundation. It's the bedrock of our society. Education is the bedrock. Don't bring anything again. Education is the bedrock. That is the foundation of any country. Education is the basics. So our children are going back again to the basics of where it all started to. So we want them to go back so that our country will have it again. Thank you for joining me.